Hello, world. I am an anemic, homeless American blue-collar wage slave. Yep, you heard all of that correctly. I am here primarily trying to crowdsource my invention. I am not here to beg for handouts. I'm here to sell my invention. This is my first video, so please try to forgive the imperfection of it. And since I'm a wage slave, and poor, at least by my standards, I apologize that my videos aren't all flashy and stuff, but I am doing the best that I can with what I have. Thank you. Now, the goal of this channel is simple. Try to find some forward-thinking company or entity who would like to be leading the way to cleaner, healthier air for pretty much the whole world, or at least that part of it that has electricity. My invention can do this for a fraction of the cost of those home air purifier machines. Those things can cost upwards of $100 to $300 each, and who can really afford that in every room of their homes? My invention will beat the snot out of those machines for under $30. Also, there are many places in the world you can't even buy those expensive home air purifier machines, but many of them still have local access to the equipment needed to do it my way. The market and technology is already everywhere, for the most part, in place. All that is needed is for someone to introduce my invention. If I can find said company, I'll no longer be a wage slave and will therefore be able to cure the rest of what ails me. Before I get any deeper into that, please allow me just a few minutes to quickly go over who I am. For the time being, due to issues directly related to my homeless condition and employment factors, which I'll get into momentarily, I need to remain generally anonymous. So for now, I'd like to be known simply as Homeless D. This intro ended up being longer than I was hoping to make it, so I decided to split this video into two parts. This video is about who I am, essentially, and part two is more about my invention. I did this in order to keep from boring you to death. I would appreciate you finish this video, since that would help you understand just who I am and why I'm here. This YouTube channel is my only presence on the internet. I am not someone else, nor, as of posting this video, associated with anyone else. I don't have a Facebook, a Twitter, or any other social media memberships, and I'm not here to con anyone out of anything. I am real as it gets, and what I'm going to show you over the course of the next several videos is 100% true and real. Now, let's move forward. I'm anemic. I also have 2 stomach ulcers that bleed when I'm under too much stress. These conditions are, if you want to call it, professionally diagnosed, and I have the paperwork to prove it. My medical liabilities have hospitalized me 3 times in the last couple of years, near death, yet my condition is 100% curable. The local hospital conglomerate, Sanford, S-A-N-F-O-R-D, me having been there twice in 2017 alone, still refuses to just give me the treatment necessary to heal me and demands that I simply manage this death-defying ailment so I can go back to them again and again and again. I'm guessing until they get tired of looking at me and just kill me off. But that's exactly how so-called healthcare works in America. Because I'm a wage slave, I have to work 9 to 10 hours a day to live paycheck by paycheck. I haven't got the time to back away from everything to simply do what needs to be done to cure myself. I said I'm homeless. And that's exactly what I am, as legally defined as what has become known as the McKinney-Vento Act. That is, I do not live in a domicile that is designed for people to be living in. However, I don't live on the streets, so don't confuse me with the stereotypical homeless person you see in the media. I don't sleep on park benches, in doorways, under bridges, in abandoned buildings, etc. I do not stand out in the streets jingling a cup for change or holding a sign or anything like that. I have a job. I am among the homeless ones who are completely ignored by the media and YouTube. I live out of a camper that I have crammed into a shop space, which is essentially a glorified storage unit. Campers are designed for recreational use, not as a permanent residence. The shop space is an industrial zoned and not residential zoned, and therefore not only is it not designed to be lived in, but technically it's illegal. I am not legally allowed to be living in an industrial zone. Some may call it squatting, but the building isn't abandoned. I pay for the space that I occupy, and I pay a heavy sum. The main reasons I live the way I do instead of in an apartment, house, trailer court, or whatever is: 1, I do not have and never have had any credit cards. I don't believe in interest usury and have decided not to participate in the cashless society experiment. I have, therefore, 0 credit. That's not bad credit, that's just no credit. Property managers all want to do a credit check on prospective renters, and 0 credit disqualifies me every time, no matter how much I make an hour or the fact that I pay my bills. Just that 0 credit score is enough for them to say no. And in the geographic location I'm in now, that's the way it is. Where you are at might be a different story, but it's quite likely I'm not where you are at. So anyway, 2, I have a rescue dog and cat, 1 of each, and only a small portion of property managers will even bother allowing pets. One place I called wouldn't even allow a freaking goldfish. I tried to go to these places that help homeless people get into housing, but because I have a job, I am immediately disqualified for those services too. Blue collar, wage slave can mean many things. What I'm referring to is a production or manufacturing type of work. I'm not referring to other type of industry, blue-collar work, such as flipping burgers, washing dishes for minimum wage, or stocking shelves at Walmart or whatever. I work in manufacturing. Those of us in the field of manufacturing are the foundation of the nation's economy. Without a manufacturing base, a nation has no economic base. An economy based on services is an economy bound to collapse. Any healthy national economy needs a manufacturing base to rest on. But that's a difficult and complex subject, and I don't really have time to delve too deeply into it here. Maybe in a later video we can discuss the socioeconomic and political points of it, but I want to leave it there for now. I'm certainly not alone in this boat. There are plenty of other blue-collar workers who are living paycheck to paycheck. The only thing allowing them to pretend that they're not dirt poor is either their credit cards aren't maxed out yet, or the fact that so many of them are living with family or friends. That is, parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, or a combination of these factors. You might be surprised to find out just how many people in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s are still living in their parents' freaking basements. Which, for me, is where the homeless part kicks in. I have no family to turn to, yet that's another subject for another time. As far as meeting new people, well, the geographic location that I am currently stuck in right now, let's just say these people are pretty much crazy for the most part. And that is also for many, many, many later videos. Now, that brings us to the wage slave part, which to an extent is a redundancy, because if you're an American blue-collar worker, then you are a wage slave. Wage slavery means essentially that you get an hourly pay that's so low as compared to the cost of living that you are pretty much forced to live paycheck to paycheck. I work 9 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and still have to spend 2 whole weeks working just to pay rent and bills for the month. The other 2 weeks goes to finish paying my monthly bills, paying for gas, stocking up on food, etc., so forth and whatever. I rarely have any money left over for luxuries like a DVD or something, but I almost never have enough left over to save for anything significant. I don't have a shiny new truck. I don't have any jet skis. I don't have any quad runners. I don't have any snowmobiles. I don't have a fancy boat. Hell, I don't even have an ugly boat. None of this stuff. I don't have any of that. I'm not blowing my money on shiny baubles. Everything that I make goes to just trying to keep my head above water. And because I don't have and never have had any credit cards, I have no credit card debt to pay off. I'm not paying credit card bills. I just get paid such a shitty wage that it makes it very difficult to stay off the streets. Also, my dog needs some surgery, but I can't afford the time to take off to take care of that. So anyway, I'm just going to leave this video here for now. Move on to part 2. And other things I'll get into later on in other videos. If you don't mind, subscribe to my channel. The next several videos should be a little more entertaining and educational, and I'm going to try to make it even better. But, you know, I'm doing what I can with what I got. So, but seriously, stay tuned. I have a lot of good stuff planned, and I think a lot of you will find much of my commentary quite entertaining. Feel free to comment and ask questions below. I'll answer as much as I can. Anyway, this is Homeless D, and I'm out, but not down.